Bill Belichick has officially accepted the offer to be the head coach of North Carolina football. This is one of the biggest surprises of 2024. I never would have thought the greatest head coach in NFL history, an 8-time Super Bowl champion, would be coaching college football, but it has happened, people. And I don't see Bill Belichick failing as the head coach of UNC. Okay? He, from a coaching standpoint, automatically is the best head coach in college football when it comes to X's and O's, schematics, schemes. There's not a single head coach in the nation that is messing with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is going to have this Tar Heels defense playing way better than it ever has under Mac Brown. At least with Bill Belichick, you know that you're not going to be giving up 70 points in the game to a school like James Madison. And when it comes to being able to quickly turn around this program, I expect North Carolina to be an instant contender for the ACC championship as soon as next season kicks off, because Bill Belichick, he's going to assemble a really good staff. He's going to be able to get some good pickups out of the transfer portal. And the biggest pushback on this move has been, just how good is Bill Belichick going to be when it comes to acquiring talent, not just out of the portal, but in high school recruiting? I don't see that really being an issue. He already has hired Michael Lombardi to be his general manager. He's going to assemble a good team to do the heavy lifting when it comes to getting guys out of the portal and recruiting for him. And he doesn't really have to dabble too much on that side of things. And plus, with the new era of college football, with the implementation of the transfer portal and the NIL side of things, college football, nobody really wants to admit it, but it's never been closer to the NFL. Bill Belichick was not only a head coach for the Patriots, but he also was a general manager as well. He knows how to evaluate talent. He knows how to properly allocate money, not overspending for certain players. I'm pretty confident that Bill Belichick is going to do a great job coaching this football program. I don't question if he's going to be able to relate to the younger athletes that he's going to be working with, because when you're paying guys, I don't really think it matters how good of a relationship you have with those players. It kind of is beneficial. Bill Belichick is paying these guys to come play for him while he coaches them up and prepares them for the NFL. And that's the biggest selling point that Bill Belichick has when it comes to recruiting guys out of high school and in the portal. He can go up to a guy and say, hey, look, I might not have a national championship like a Kirby Smart or Dabo Sweeney, but what I do have in comparison to them is the fact that I'm an 8-time Super Bowl champion. I've won world championships at the highest level possible. I've been responsible for helping develop two of the greatest football players all time, that being Lawrence Taylor and Tom Timothy Brady. If you are a high school recruit and you truly care about being developed like how most of these guys claim, and they're not chasing the bag, how could you turn down Bill Belichick? Bill Belichick is trying to make North Carolina a pipeline to the NFL. If you want to get NFL caliber coaching, you want to be put in an NFL caliber system that's going to help maximize your potential to best improve your chances of getting drafted for the next level, then going to North Carolina and getting coached by Bill Belichick is the best option for you. Now, if you're coaching a bag, or if you're chasing a bag and you don't want to get coached tough, then playing for Bill Belichick isn't for you. And if you can't handle the tough coaching of Bill Belichick, then you don't have what it takes to make it to the National Football League, because every coach in the NFL, to a certain degree, somewhat is like Bill Belichick. And even in college football, you got guys like Kirby Smart, who coaches his players pretty hard. If you're just one of those guys that just wants to be soft and you just can't handle tough coaching, then you don't have what it takes to succeed. You see, soft players are the ones that they want to be coddled. They don't want to get coached. If you want to get coached, you have no problem being coached hard. Bill Belichick is going to hold these young athletes to a high standard, while also helping them develop as young men, because that's what's so great about the game of football. Not only does playing this game help you become a better player, but it also helps you become a better person on and off the field. Bill Belichick is going to teach these young guys accountability, responsibility, and what it takes to be a team. He has assembled some of the greatest teams in NFL history. And when it comes to being able to build a good staff, he has his son on the roster, Steven Belichick, who I'm pretty sure he knows a couple of good candidates to be his offensive coordinator, his defensive coordinator, a good strength and conditioning coach. Bill Belichick is no novice to the college game. Some of y'all don't know this, but his dad coached at Navy for a very long time. And he also spent a little bit of time back in the 50s coaching at North Carolina. So, yes, Bill Belichick does have a little bit that he has to learn when it comes to the collegiate game, but it's never been easier to make the transition from the NFL to college football as what it is today, with this pretty much being the NFL 2.0. You can run North Carolina similarly to how you would run an NFL organization. You hire some of the guys to run your front office department, that being the GM. You get a personnel department, guys who go out, scout guys in the portal, scout guys out of high school. Bill Belichick does need to be in recruits' living rooms, pitching them to come play for him. Most of these coaches aren't really doing the recruiting anyway. Most of these coaches have a staff of 7, 8 former players who go out and do the heavy lifting for them. When these recruits commit, they normally commit because of their relationship, not with the head coach, but with the position coach. That's why when position coaches get fired or they leave for better positions, you normally see a lot of guys flip. And even in the portal, when guys transfer, oftentimes they're transferring to a school with the head coach that recruited them out of high school. I had a homie that was coming out of a prep school. He wasn't able to go to the school he committed to initially on National Signing Day because of his GPA being too low. So he went to a prep school. And at the time, the head coach who he initially committed to, had left for a bigger job. But the position coach who he was really cool with ended up taking a job at Illinois. And he promised them, hey, like, if you do what you're supposed to do in JUCO, we're going to have a scholarship offer ready for you. And, he balled out in JUCO. He was like the number 1 or second best prep athlete. And he ended up holding on to his word. He goes to Illinois. He ends up having a pretty good career. He's at Louisville now, but that's kind of how the transfer portal works. It's not always about who's chasing the bag. It's also about who you know. So therefore, if Belichick can hire good position coaches and good coaches that know how to recruit, I don't see him being able to acquire talent being that big of an issue. And some of y'all act like the name Bill Belichick doesn't hold weight. Everybody knows who Bill Belichick is. Let's not act like these high school recruits never watched football before. When they were watching Tom Brady and the peak of the Patriots dynasty, they saw Bill Belichick hoisting that Lombardi trophy. Everybody knows who Bill Belichick is. Bill Belichick right now, besides Deion Sanders and Kirby Smart, is the most recognizable coach in college football. Everybody knows who he is that plays high school football. I don't see how this doesn't end up being a successful tenure with Bill Belichick taking this job at UNC. UNC, he's going to be able to fix what their biggest inefficiency has been these last 3-4 years, which is that they don't know how to play defense. So with Bill Belichick and all of the accolades that he has from the NFL, I think it's pretty easy to see him getting a lot of talent, both in the portal and in recruiting. And the on-field standpoint, nobody should question how good of a coach Bill Belichick is. This isn't the NFL anymore. It's pretty easy to find a good quarterback, to find good receivers. That's the only thing that held back Bill Belichick once he lost Tom Brady, was that he kind of became a little bit incompetent to drafting good skill position guys. Now, with the NIL and the transfer portal, you can just sign and get a bunch of wide receivers out of high school and in the portal, get a few good quarterbacks, and boom, you're good and set to go. You know that North Carolina is going to be good on the line of scrimmage. You know that they're going to be good up front. This is a team that, with this hiring, immediately is going to be a contender, not just for the ACC title, but to also make it into the college football playoffs next season, because the ACC is arguably the weakest Power 4 conference in this sport. There's not a single head coach that's messing with Bill Belichick from an X's and O's standpoint in the ACC. You mean to tell me that Bill Belichick went and coached circles around Mario Cristobal, Mike Norvell, even Dabo Swinney? I don't see how this hiring doesn't end up being somewhat successful. I will really be shocked if Bill Belichick struggles coaching in college football, because the difference between the NFL and college football has never been similar. In my opinion, I mean, there really isn't a difference at all. Let's just call it what it is. The NFL is its own thing on Sundays, and college football is the NFL on Saturdays.